A 1996 Volvo just crossed 3 million miles. 1 million of those were on the same engine. The owner wasn't lucky. He did 10 specific things differently, and none of them cost a lot of money. You bought your car to get from A to B. Maybe you stretched your budget to get it. You need it to last. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. The average car only makes it to 150,000 miles before something expensive breaks: a transmission, an engine, a head gasket. And when it happens, people always say the same thing: it came out of nowhere. But it didn't. The signs were there for months, sometimes years. They just didn't know what to look for. You're watching this because you don't want to be that person. You want your car to last. You want to avoid a $3,000 repair bill that destroys your month. And you want to actually know, not guess, that your car is okay. Good, because today we're going to fix that. Welcome to Cartence. We break down the hidden problems of your car. I'm going to give you 10 habits that separate cars that hit 500,000 miles from cars that die at 120,000. But before we get there, I want to tell you about habit number 7. It's the one most people skip because it seems small. It's the one that causes more engine damage than almost anything else. And it's the reason cars that seem fine suddenly need a full rebuild. I'll get to it, but first, let's start at the beginning. First, let's kill the biggest lie in car ownership. If nothing feels wrong, nothing is wrong. Your car has a warning light system, and that system is designed to tell you when something is already broken, not when it's about to break. By the time the light comes on, damage has usually already happened. Think of it this way: your warning light is not a prevention system, it's an emergency alert, and waiting for it is like waiting for a fire alarm before you call 911. The cars that last 500,000 miles, their owners never wait for the light. They're proactive. They have a system, and that system starts with these 10 habits. Habit 1, change your oil on time every time. This isn't new information, but most people still get it wrong. They stretch it, they forget, they switch oil types without knowing why. Here's what actually matters. Oil is your engine's blood. When it breaks down, tiny metal particles circulate through your engine and grind against every surface they touch. That wear is permanent, it adds up, and after 100,000 miles of stretched oil changes, you start to feel it in your wallet. Modern full synthetic oil, every 7,500 to 10,000 miles. Conventional oil, every 5,000. Don't guess, check your manual, and never mix synthetic with conventional. It degrades the protection of both. Habit 2, check your coolant level and condition twice a year. Coolant doesn't just keep your engine cool, it prevents corrosion inside your cooling system. Old acidic coolant eats through gaskets and metal. That's how you get a blown head gasket, one of the most expensive repairs on any car. Twice a year, pop the hood, check the reservoir. If the coolant is brown or rusty instead of bright green or orange, it's overdue for a flush. A coolant flush costs $100. A head gasket job costs $2,000. Easy math. Habit 3. Never ignore small fluid leaks. A small spot on your driveway is your car trying to warn you. Most people ignore it. They think, it's small, it's probably nothing. But here's how it works. A small leak means low fluid. Low fluid means heat. Heat means accelerated wear, and accelerated wear means a small $80 fix quietly turns into a $1,500 problem over 6 months. If you see a spot, identify the fluid. Brown or black, oil. Red or pink, transmission fluid. Green or orange, coolant. Each one tells you exactly where to look. Don't guess, don't wait. Habit 4. Rotate your tires every 6,000 miles. Tires wear unevenly depending on whether they're on the front or back. Ignore rotation and you'll destroy 2 tires while 2 others are nearly new. A full set of tires can cost $600 to $1,000. A rotation? $20 to $50. Do it. Every time you change your oil, ask them to rotate your tires. Make it automatic. Habit 5. Warm up your engine before pushing it hard. Cold starts are the hardest thing on your engine. When oil is cold, it's thick. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to properly circulate. If you start the car and immediately rev it hard or jump on the highway, you're running metal against metal with barely any lubrication.
You don't need to sit in the driveway for 10 minutes. Drive gently for the first few minutes. Keep the RPMs low. Let the oil warm up. That habit alone extends engine life significantly. All right, we're halfway through, and you might be thinking, I know some of this, I do a few of these, I'm probably fine. But here's where it gets worse. The habits I'm about to share, most people have never even heard of them. These are the habits that separate a car that lasts 200,000 miles from one that lasts 500,000. And one of them, habit 7, is something mechanics rarely tell you about because it generates them a lot of business when you skip it. Stay with me. Habit 6. Replace your air filter on schedule. A clogged air filter forces your engine to work harder to breathe. That strains the engine, drops your fuel economy, and over time increases wear on internal components. A new air filter costs $15 to $30 and takes 5 minutes to replace. Most people pay a mechanic $60 to do it. Learn to do it yourself. Check it every 15,000 miles. If it's gray and dirty, replace it. Habit 7. Flush your transmission fluid. Here it is, the one most people skip. Your transmission is one of the most complex mechanical systems in your car. It contains dozens of moving parts, clutches, and solenoids, all bathed in transmission fluid. That fluid breaks down over time, it gets contaminated, and when it does, it stops lubricating properly. The result? Slipping gears, rough shifts, eventually a full transmission failure. Rebuilding or replacing a transmission can cost $3,000 to $7,000. A transmission fluid flush? $100 to $200 every 30,000 to 60,000 miles. Why don't mechanics mention it? Because some will tell you your transmission is sealed for life, implying it never needs service. What they don't say is that the life they're referring to might only be 120,000 miles. After that, the fluid is sludge, and your transmission pays the price.
Check your owner's manual. If it says lifetime fluid, look up what lifetime actually means for your specific vehicle. Do not skip this. Habit 8. Keep your brakes serviced, not just the pads. Everyone knows to replace brake pads, but the brake fluid? The calipers? Those get ignored. Brake fluid absorbs moisture over time. Moisture lowers its boiling point. That means in hard braking situations, long downhills, emergency stops, your brakes can fade right when you need them most. Flush your brake fluid every 2 years. Inspect your calipers for corrosion. A seized caliper doesn't just kill your braking, it destroys your rotors and pads at the same time. What could have been a $200 pad replacement becomes a $600 job. Habit 9. Inspect and replace rubber components before they fail. Belts, hoses, bushings, these are the rubber parts nobody thinks about until they snap. And when they snap, they often take other components with them. A broken serpentine belt kills your power steering, your alternator, and sometimes your water pump at the same time. Rubber degrades with age and heat. Visually inspect belts every 30,000 miles for cracking, fraying, or glazing. Most mechanics recommend replacing the serpentine belt at 60,000 to 100,000 miles, regardless of how it looks. Prevention is always cheaper than the consequence. Habit 10. Keep a service log and know your car's history. This sounds simple, but it's one of the most powerful habits on this list. When you know exactly what's been serviced, when, and with what, you stop guessing. You notice patterns. You notice when something is overdue before it becomes urgent. A $5 notebook in your glove box, a note in your phone, a simple spreadsheet, whatever works for you. Date, mileage, what was done. That's it. Every high-mileage car owner I've ever spoken to has one thing in common. They know their car. They track it. They treat it like an asset, because it is one. Remember habit 7, the one I teased at the beginning? Here's the real lesson hidden inside it. It's not just about transmission fluid. It's about the fact that your car has systems that degrade silently. No warning light, no noise, no obvious symptoms. They just slowly deteriorate until one day they don't work anymore. And most people only discover the problem when the bill is already enormous. That's the real cost of neglect. Not just money, it's the stress of an unexpected breakdown, the panic of not knowing if your car is safe, the regret of wishing you'd spent $100 earlier instead of $5,000 now.
These 10 habits, they're not complicated. They don't require mechanical expertise. They just require attention, consistency, and the mindset that your car is worth taking care of. Here's the truth about cars that hit 500,000 miles. They're not special. They're not built differently. They're not from a secret factory with better parts. They're just cars that were taken care of, consistently, over years, by someone who paid attention. The people who do these 10 things don't just avoid expensive repairs, they save thousands of dollars over the life of their vehicle. They drive with confidence, and they never have to stare at an unexpected repair bill wondering how they're going to cover it. The people who don't, they find out the hard way, usually at the worst possible time. You watched this whole video. That tells me you're not that person. Now, make sure your car knows it too.
If this was useful, save this video. You're going to want to come back to it. And check the description for a free maintenance checklist you can print and keep in your car.